Last class, we talked about kinetic theory of matter. Today, we are going to particularly be teaching about not actually a topic in chemistry, but we're going to be giving you tips and more like an advice on things you are going to do in preparation for your external exams. And this particular video is specially for those in exam class. I'm talking about those students that will be writing their SSCE examinations, like WAEC, NECO, NAPTEP. It's for everybody, but our special target right now is examination class, those that will be writing their SS. So today, our topic today is how you are going to study and cover up your syllabus in 6 months. How to study and cover up your syllabus in 6 months from now. We all know that very soon for all the external exams will start, for SSC will start, and within a short while from now, after the registration comes up the exams. I know most of you will be thinking that you still have a lot of time by your side and you still be wasting time. I want to tell you now, you don't have time. You don't have what? You don't have time. Don't think that you just entered SS3 or that you still have a whole year to write your exam. No, no. Your time is short already. And before you know it, school is resuming. Before you know, you're going for Christmas break, coming back from Christmas break, and then your exam is there. So this is the right time for you to start preparing for your exams. Reading very hard and trying to cover those topics, very important topics that you have not been able to cover. Then this is time for you to get ready so that when the exam is finally here, you can be confident that you are ready for the exam and you can face the exam man to man, bumper to bumper, and you'll be sure of scoring a very good grade, coming out with flying colors. The preparation starts now. Okay, so don't waste again. Don't waste your time again. Start reading now. Start preparing now. So let's go back to let's get down to business. Of course, I'll also be discussing how you can effectively cover the syllabus for your subjects in WAEC. Now, the syllabus or scheme of work are topics, important topics that every exam body has that covers what they are going to be setting in their exams. And you know, if you don't study well, if you don't cover the syllabus, or at least cover most of the syllabus, when you come for the exam, you don't even know where the question might be coming out from. So if you are not well prepared, you may be thrown off balance during the exam. So this is time you cover the syllabus. Start now, read. Even if you don't cover it very well, make sure you cover almost all of them, and the ones you covered that you are very, very conversant with them, with the topics and how to solve problems from the topics. Okay? So now let's get that straight to the points or to the tips on how you can do this. So now, first check most up-to-date syllabus for every subject. Now, you know the subject you are going to take in your WAEC or the subject you are going to take in your NAPTEP or your NECO. You write them down. This is time for you to be meticulous, for you to be deliberate, and for you to keep record and be, to take everything serious. No more time for playing away your time. Okay? So check the up-to-date syllabus for each subject that you are going to write. For chemistry, check the up-to-date chemistry syllabus. I know the chemistry syllabus don't change, hasn't changed much. It doesn't change much. So it might still be last year's syllabus is still very much valid, or you look for the most up-to-date. Then check the topics you are meant to study. Check them very well. I know most of you for a long time now, you have been studying different topics, so it's very possible that you have covered most of the topics in the syllabus. Then if you have covered that, that's very good. That's very wonderful. And I commend you for that. So it means most of what you'll be doing is revision. But you have not covered anything. Don't worry, okay? Don't panic about that. You still have enough time But you need to get serious now. You need to get serious now. Stop playing away your time. Now, start now. Go through the whole topics. Now, even topics that you have read before, now you need to go back as you look at the syllabuses, go back and reread them. There are some hidden points that when you read them before or when you were taught before, you did not notice those hidden points. But as you go back to read such topics again, you will notice the hidden points in those topics. Now, there are topics that some parts of it are so advanced that when you read it for the first time, you couldn't understand those aspects that were more advanced than what you were doing then, and you left it. But now, if you go back to read them, you will understand the preliminary parts and you now understand even the advanced parts. And when you do that, you will gain more knowledge and then you can be able to answer more questions in more advanced form in such topics. So that's why it is important that you have a syllable for all your subjects that you'll be offering. Get a syllable for them, go through the topics in the syllable, and get to work immediately. What you have to do is find out about the exam or the type of exam you are writing. Okay? Find out the type of exam you are writing and how the exam body asks their questions. The way WAEC asks their question is different, slightly different from how NECO asks their questions, and it is also different from how NAPTEP ask their questions and some other exam bodies. Okay, so find out how they ask their question, how the questions are arranged, and then start studying using that pattern. For example, in our chemistry, we have three sections or three different formats in which they ask the question. The first one, we have the objective part. The second one, we have the theory part. And the third one, we have the practical parts of the subject. Now, it is important that you check them, know how the subject is divided, then you prepare specially for the objective parts of the questions. You also prepare specially for the theory part of the question and also prepare for the practical part of the questions. Now, the way you write objective is totally different from the way you write your theory, and it's also very much different from the way you write your practicals. So when you know the exam format, it will help you in your study and even help you to understand more and to study more effectively. Okay? So the third one is prepare a revision timetable or prepare a reading timetable. For those of you that have read almost all the topics before, or possibly have read all the topics before, then this is time for you to prepare a revision timetable. But if you have not covered much, or you're still lacking behind so much, then I can call it prepare a reading timetable. Now, this timetable will help you get back to work. It will help you not waste so much of your time. Because when you have a timetable, then you become conscious that at this particular time, I'm supposed to do this particular thing. At this particular time, I'm supposed to do this, be reading this by now. I'm supposed to be reading that. It will create a self-consciousness in you, and you know what you are supposed to do at every particular time. Okay, so create your reading timetable or create your revision timetable. Okay, because you are reading some topics afresh, you are equally revising some other topics. Okay, so another point is know the best time for you to study. Know the best time for you to what? Study effectively. Now, some people read very well in the morning, some other do that in the night. Some other people like reading in the afternoon. That's the time they understand well if they are reading. So everybody have their own time. For example, like me, I understand very well and assimilate whatever I'm reading very well, either in the night, late in the night, or early in the morning. So whenever I want to read, I do most of my reading either in the morning or late in the night. Now I know everybody is different. There are people that like reading in noisy environment. There are people that like reading in a silent environment, a place there is total silence. Okay, so know your reading time. If you are good in reading maybe during morning hours, then fix your timetable to read during morning hours, and then maybe during afternoon, evening you can do other things you want to do. But if you are good in the afternoon, then very fine. Fix your timetable in the afternoon. In the afternoon, you go reading. So you know that anytime you are reading, you are making the best use of your time. Okay, so you don't go about reading maybe when your brain is not relaxed, when you don't understand anything, and then before you know, you will get bored and you lose interest in reading. Okay, so know the best time for you to read, and again, know the best environment that for you to read. Okay, the best environment that suits you when you are reading. If you know you are such a person that doesn't like noise when you are reading, don't go and stay where there are a lot of people making noise and chanting. If you go there, you will not understand anything. You will not be able to cover anything. Or if you are such a person that loves noise, no. Some people also like reading with music. Okay, me, I like reading in a place where there's total silence. I don't like disturbance when I'm reading. Okay, but some people like disturbance. Some people are no, they are easily freaked out when they are reading in a place where there is total silence. They like where people are so that they will be reading and some people are just like that. So you know the best environment for you to read, know the best time for you to read, and make use of it. That will help you to get a maximum output. Okay, so another one is avoid procrastination. Avoid procrastination. Now, procrastination is shifting what you are supposed to do from the time you are supposed to do it to another time, thinking that you have time. You say, okay, pata, I'll just do this thing in the night. Shey person no go kill himself. You just shift your time. Okay, and at night something else will come up and you no read. You say, let me just sleep jare, I don tire. You now shift it, maybe it's in the morning. In the morning you will still shift. You continue to procrastinate and before you know it, you don't have any time again. Okay, so it is important you avoid procrastination at all cost, as much as possible to avoid procrastination at all cost. Okay, anytime you have, get down to reading immediately. Don't say I will read tomorrow, I will read next tomorrow. Before you know it, your time is gone and you not read anything. So get down to business. Don't procrastinate. Procrastination or procrastinating kills a lot of dreams, kills a lot of aspiration, kills a lot of things like more than you can ever imagine. So avoid it at what? At all costs. Okay, so the next one is when reading, prioritize the topics that make up a large percentage of what the examiner is looking for. Prioritize those topics that make up a large percentage of the subject grade. Now, we know that in most of the subjects, or even in all the subjects, there are topics that are very, very important. There are topics that are very, very important. For example, in chemistry, topics like periodic table and electronic configuration is very, very important that these topics come out virtually every year. It comes out both in OBJ and the theory. So you cannot just wave away such topics. Okay? And some of these topics are the building block of other topics. Okay? So when you understand it, it will even be easier for you to understand other topics. Okay, so know the topics that make up major part of the subject dey grade and then concentrate more. Start from it, read it very well, understand it, then according to the order of priorities, okay, you continue like that, like that, like that. It will help you a whole lot. Now, and the next tip is when reading, take break at regular intervals. Take a break at regular intervals. It will help you to refresh your brain. to help you to refresh your brain. It's not you'll be reading for 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. You are looking at the book, you're not understanding anything, and you just continue to say, I must read till 12 hours. No, don't do like that. Once you notice that you're not understanding, you're not following again, take a break, walk around, cool off, maybe do some other things, small other things, then calm your brain down, get back to reading. So take break at regular interval of your reading. It will help to improve your it will help to improve or refresh your brain so you understand and learn better. So another one is make use of different study materials for your readings and for your make use of different study materials when you are studying, both for studying and for revision. Now, if you are reading books and then maybe you get tired of books, or even if you don't get tired of books, you read books, you make use of audios too. You can make use of audios too. You put the audio, you listen to them. Then you can also make use of online videos. You use as you study your textbooks, you look at YouTube videos, you look at videos that are teaching the topic you are studying. Then you make use of audio too. You play it and you are listening to it regularly. It will help you to remember and also it will help you to learn better. Okay, so another point is highlight the important points as you are reading. Note down the important points, write them down in your notebook. Okay, for easy revision so that another time when you look at it, you can easily pick it up. Some people use acronyms, like maybe use an alphabet to remember a word or a key point. They just list it like that. Like for characteristics of living things, this one we have so much we are so much familiar with this one, Mr. Niger D, for characteristics of living things. That's like movement, respiration, and all that. Okay, so you can make use of acronyms. So if you are good at that, so but write down your important points for revision purpose, so that it will be easier for you to revise. Okay, so another one is make use of past questions. Make use of past questions and answers. Look for a reputable past question answer because some past questions and answer are not good. Okay, maybe the publishers are just there to make money. They did not. You check some of the answers; they are very much wrong. Look for a good one. Check if the answers are correct. The answers you use they are correct. With your textbook, check it. Make sure that this one is a good one before you use it. Now, past questions is very, very indispensable. Okay, as you are preparing for your exams. In fact, I advise you go and buy at least 5 past questions and answer in the 5 key subjects you need. As a science student, you will need English, mathematics, biology, chemistry, physics. If you don't have money, but at least buy these three. If you have money, buy the whole subject you need. Now, what do you do with past questions and answer? When you buy them, you look at the different years that questions have been asked. Then check the questions that have been asked. Then check the answers. In fact, find the answers yourself. Then check the answers. Then use it also to do, to exercise yourself how much you have learned. You can give yourself time, maybe 40 minutes. I'll finish the whole object. Then you time yourself. You're answering the objective as if you are in the exam hall. Then after answering it, you mark yourself using the answers there. You mark yourself to know how far you have what you scored and how far you have learned. Then the ones you failed, you check the answers, check how it was solved, so you learn it. In fact, one of the easiest way of reading, one of the and most effective way of reading is using past questions and answer. Because when you check the questions, you see how the questions are asked, then you see how the solutions were profiled or how it was solved. And it will help you that even in some other questions, even if the question is twisted, you already know that this is what they are looking for and this is how the answer is supposed to be. Because it's possible that after reading, you don't even understand, you know, how to answer a question. I know the answer, but how to arrange the answer or how to answer that particular question, even though you have the idea, you don't know how to answer it well, and after you notice that you would still fail what you know. But when you use past questions and answer, you see how questions are answered, the answers to some questions, even some applied questions that you may not find the answer directly on your textbook also. You see how it was answered, and how you can make use of the knowledge you have acquired by reading to answer some applied questions. Okay, so it's very, very important. Buy your then if you buy it, answer the OBJ, answer the theories, then answer the practicals. Look at what is required, how it is asked, then it will help you in your reading and in your practice. Now, another thing about past question is, for more than 30 years, you have been writing WAEC, you have been writing NECO, you have been writing APTEP, you have been writing Jamb for more than, did I say 30 years? I think for more than 40 years. And over these years, topics have not changed much. It is still same topics, mostly the base topics are still same topics, but just in improvements in the topics. And if you check the questions they asked then, and then the questions that are being asked now, they are still very much the same or very similar. And so, for me, I think, and it is true, that most of the question that anybody can ask has been exhausted. They can just change the grammar, but the answer remains the same. The question still remains the same. They might change the arrangement of the question, but it's still the same thing. So when they have asked it over years, and now you go through it, see the questions, know the answers, then if you enter exam hall, it will be very simple something for you because you already know this question and the answer. So you will perform very well, like you answer very well. Okay? So exams are easy. But and the exams are also very difficult. It depends on how you prepare for them. So please get your past question answer and start practicing it immediately. Start reading it. Start making use of it. Don't just get it and keep it and think that since you have it, no wahala, you can read that. No, start now. Start now. Remember, in my former point, I say no procrastination. So start now. Okay. So that's that. Now the last tip I'm going to give you here is information is power. Information is power. So make sure you are up to date with every single information about the exam you are going to write. Okay? No, I've seen people that they have exam by May, and in their mind, they think the exam is not yet here. In their mind, the exam is by June. And before you know it, they have started the exam, they have missed one or two papers before they will realize that the exam have started. Okay? So I don't want that to be your case. Make sure you're up to date with every single information about the exam. The registration date, the examination time, when is the exam starting, the examination time. In fact, if when the exam is here, when you're going for exam, at least go 1 hour earlier. Okay, go 1 hour earlier to the exam venue. It will save you a whole lot of troubles. So get familiar with all these things and implement it. It will help you a lot in preparing your exams, and it will help you to prepare very well, write your exam very well, and come out with flying colors. So I wish you best of luck for those of you uh, in your exams class. I wish you best of luck even as you write the forthcoming exams. Thank you so much. Now make sure you subscribe to our channel, then you like and comment. If you like this video, comment. Okay, subscribe. Also share this video or invite your friends to also subscribe, like, and post some next content. It's going to be bomb. Okay, so you'll be the first to get information about it and you can view it. Okay, so thank you so much.